This is a 78 carat black opal nobby sent to me by Riley Gunn of 53 Frogs on Opal Auctions. Black opal from Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia is said to be the best opal in the world, and that's probably due to the fact that it is. Now, I've cut a lot of opals, but not too many black opals. I've cut a few nobbies, but never one this large or with this shape. This is a very interesting nobby, the type that Justin of Black Opal Direct calls a witch's hat nobby. These witch's hat nobbies are all somewhat dome-shaped, and some come to a sharp point. You will notice that there's a central rounded area, and looking from the top, there are lines, or striations as Sheila likes to call them, extending outward to the edges. I will get to this boring information later in the deep science section at the end of the video. I have some never revealed information about this type of opal that is exciting and new. New info about opal. What could be better? Now, I personally would skip the fun blingy part and head straight to the end of the video, but that's just me. But I know you want to see it, so let's just cut this thing. Now, if we look around the edges of this nobby, we see that some color is visible and that the background is medium to dark gray. But we need to see this edge better. So, Sheila, start the machine. Well, this helps. We see there's a nice black layer with a gray layer beneath it. Now, if you look at my hands, they're moving around. Well, that's me explaining something important, but nobody is listening. I deleted the audio without even listening to it. It's not only meaningless, but it's distracting too. That guy's an idiot.
We interrupt this video for a special service announcement from the Pulitzer Opal Jargon Advisory. Because of special interest by viewers, the noun nincompoop has been approved for use in comments and in other forms of communication on this channel. Thank you.
What'd you do now?
The back was completely covered with a thick layer of sand, and as Justin said, sometimes the back is indented. So I took out my secret weapon, the flex shaft. From past videos, you guys may recall my outstanding abilities with the instrument, but I didn't do so well. Oh, we've got a lot of color floating around in there. The bulge on this side corresponds to the indentation on this side. Oh no, they're going to it mano a mano. And now for the final stones. I was just testing you. See if you were paying attention. That comes later. This is a 6.9 ounce chunk of Andamooka matrix opal. Matrix opal forms in small spaces between grains of host rock, as you can see in this diagram generated by my AI assistant, Zuck. What a nincompoop. Matrix opal, it is nearly always white or light tan, and very often you don't see much color. In this specimen sent to me by Tanner Terziolglu of intergalacticaustralianopal.com, it has a lot of visible color, which is unusual for Andamooka matrix opal, but that doesn't mean squat. What matters, and the only thing that matters, is how good it looks after it's treated, how black the background got, and how good the color is. Treatment of Andamooka matrix opal consists of soaking it in hot sugar solution for a few days, then putting it in boiling hot concentrated sulfuric acid. The acid destroys the sugar molecules, leaving only carbon atoms, which are black. If treated well, the background will become black, and sometimes that color will rival the best opal in the world, Lightning Ridge Black Opal. The best plan is to treat the whole thing without cutting it first in order to find the best areas to sample, but with this one, I'm going in blind. Let the chips fall where they may. Oh, put a cork in it, Sheila. These are some of the pieces from Tanner Terziolglu's 6.9-ounce matrix opal chunk. They didn't treat as well as we might have wanted, but the color is awesome. The truth is, matrix does not have to turn totally black to be beautiful and used in jewelry. My wife regularly wears matrix opal pendants where the treatment was not good. I love both of these pendants, and so does she. In Tanner's matrix, I love the broad rolling flash, red and blue. It's unreal. Thank you all for your great recommendations about the 100K celebration, but I have to announce that it's being canceled. Yes, canceled. That's because within the next month or so, I am expected to finally reach 1 million subscribers. Zuck, with his amazing AI powers, he calls them powers. We call it something that will end up doing more bad than good. But at least a lot of bad people will get really rich. I'm talking about you, Mr. Zuckerberg. So get ready. We're going to need some inspiring recommendations, like, for instance, where can we find a venue large enough to accommodate 2 million guests? Oh, you mean you didn't think about it, did you? That spouses and special friends might also attend? How could you miss that one, Sheila? So send your ideas to Sheila. She's near the phone now with her notepad and her Parker 75, 14 karat gold. And now for the final stones. Charl is a thin, opinionated piece of matrix opal who thinks she's not opinionated. At 14.01 carats, she's untreated and is not very colorful, but there's promise. Poppy is a very nice, elegant Ethiopian willow opal cabochon. She's a great example of what might happen if you happen to be near me when I'm cutting stones for a video. You might accidentally get cut. Iris is another opal that was caught in the wrong place, but she's the pick of the litter. At 5.21 carats, her body is made of Kuberpidi semi-crystal opal, and she's ready for your jewelry setting. Are you ready for her? Poor Carl. Do you recognize him? Well, here he is a few days ago. Oh, the humanity. And a massive effort to uncover his inner splendor proved futile. But you might like Carl. He weighs only 4.43 carats, and he's ready for his future life as a guitar pick. Believe it or not, Lumpy from Lightning Ridge was caught in a crossfire years ago before I did giveaways. He weighs in at 39.44 carats, and I advise you not to mess with him or put him in your nose. But one of you guys will get the opportunity to do just that if he wanders your way. To be eligible for the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a comment. Simple as that. And now the winners from last time. The 1.17 carat opal named Cal goes to Waffler. Rip, the 3.45 carat Australian opal goes to Stonehand Steve. The 3.90 carat slice of opal goes to Flavoroid. The 5.42 carat Australian opal named Spanky goes to Mulkey. The excellent 6.97 carat Australian opal named Chunk goes to Andrew L.G. Chunk's leaner 3.15 carat brother goes to Mr. Biz. The 19.41 carat wedge of Australian opal goes to Roy L. Both files of beautiful Australian crystal opal chips go to Moe's Leather. Slice was abandoned next to a trim saw, but look at him now. And Slice has a new home with Carolyn's Colorful Creations. Riley sent me this opal nobby, and when I received it, I was amazed because it was so perfect. Now, I've cut nobbies before, but I've never cut one that looked like this. These are what's known as witch's hat nobbies, a term that Justin of Black Opal Direct uses. There are probably people who cut more nobbies than he does, but I know he cuts plenty, and I'm going with him on this one. As a biologist, I can easily recognize this as a fossil. And how do I know? Because it has radial symmetry, in which similar parts are arranged in a balanced way around the center of the body. Here's a man-made object that has radial symmetry, a pinwheel. but it's man-made. But if something is not man-made and formed in nature, the only things that can have radial symmetry are living things. Radial symmetry cannot be made by geologic forces or by chance. If it's got radial symmetry and it's not man-made, it's an organism, a living thing, and if it's not living, it's either dead or it's a fossil. This is a fossil. Sea urchins are a great example of radial symmetry. Jellyfish, another great example. Another thing is some types of coral. And what these nobbies look most like, these witch's hat nobbies, they look very much like mushroom coral. Here are some examples. Do you see how they very much look like the nobby that we have? They are basically circular, and they have a central area from which lines radiate, a perfect example of radial symmetry. Now, I'm not a paleontologist, so I can't specifically identify the fossil, and I'm not a marine biologist, so I can't necessarily name the organism that way. But I'm very sure that this is a fossil, and it's very likely an opalized mushroom coral. I'd bet your life on it. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.